So, hello everybody. Just give us a few minutes more. We're just waiting on some participants to log in, and we'll start in a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me give a very warm welcome to all of you to Hannover Messe 2021, the digital edition. And of course as well, welcome to our second session of guided tours at this year's Hannover Messe. I am Bernhard Spitzenberg, and I'm going to be your host for the next hour. Together with my colleagues Yvonne Schulz and Marij Gödecke, I am very happy to see how many visitors join us today. Right now, we have about 180 persons logged in and joining this session. Our key topic today is connected manufacturing, the key to IIoT. It is one of the major topics of Hannover Messe, and I'm very proud to see that we have two very well-known exhibitors dealing with this one with us today. They will show you their ideas of future of industry in two brief presentations, and are very happy to answer your questions afterwards. So today we will see, at first, ServiceNow. Welcome, Mr. Heimann.
Thank you very much.
And at second, we will see Software AG. Again, welcome, Mr. Schuh, Mr. Betz. It's good to have you all here. But before handing over to our first speaker, let me point out some rules for today. At first, please mute your phone, mute your microphone. You know this from all the different from all the different video calls that you might have in the past days. It's better for all of us. And second, please switch off your camera for a better network connection as well. At third, please keep in mind you are not allowed to record the session or parts of it, and please do not do any screenshots for third-party persons. If you have any questions, please use our chat function on the right-hand side. My colleagues and I will keep an eye on it, and ask the questions afterwards to our reference. One last tip at the end. If there is any question, you might ask one of our speakers afterwards, or get in contact with them, or get in contact with the companies they're representing. Please use our business dating service at our platform hannovermesse.de. Just type in their names and you will find them to get in contact with them directly. Well then, let's go and start with our first speaker, Mr. Heimann. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spitzenberg. Yeah, welcome. My name is Jan Heimann. I'm Senior Manager Solution Consulting for the manufacturing and automotive industry. I'm part of ServiceNow. I don't know if everybody knows ServiceNow. We are a cloud-based, cloud-born company to workflow the modern enterprise. That's the first sentence that our websites read. So we are here to connect the enterprise to make work better for people. That's our status. Today, I want to talk about connect IoT data into digital workflows. And to kick off, I have a statement from McKinsey Global Institute, and that is really showing the current situation on IoT quite well. So most of the IoT data collected today are not used at all. We have an example, for instance, less than 1% of the data generated by the 30,000 sensors of an offshore oil rig is used to make decisions. The other 99% are not really used. Value remains to be captured by using existing performance data to predict maintenance or to analyze workflows to optimize operating efficiency. And what does this mean? Where do we come into this place currently? Because we see the biggest challenges are that you and the whole industry needs to innovate, and the statements here are also statements by our clients. So one of the things is they need to revisit our business models and revolutionize the customer experience to stay competitive, because at the end everything belongs to the customer. Then we have a big problem with the IoT challenge currently is the disparate data. We have all the data. The oil rig example, we have 30,000 sensors reporting the data, but we have many duplicates. We have a lot of different silos, and this is where the third thing we have. Not only siloed data, we also have siloed teams and operations. We have teams that look at the dashboards and react on it, but we don't have the connections between the siloed teams and operations. And that's really where ServiceNow comes into play, where we can help you to overcome these issues. We can help you get an end-to-end flow from the sensor reading when something really happens at the machine and is detected, to the monitoring, the detection and action to close that case or to react on that thing. We can help you be proactive. We can help you really making things much more smoothly, proactively. So we cannot only react if something has happened. We can also predict things. We can also take scheduled maintenance, or if you say we already have a data lake that is predicting failures, whatever, we connect to it. And then where is our main domain, as I already introduced as one of the workflow companies? We have smart routing, so we can direct the action, the order, the work order direct to the right person, to the right team, with the right equipment, with the right skills. And that's basically where we can really help you out in not only getting the insights into your machine, into your sensors and readings, and not only having the alerts and not only adding another dashboard on top of it, but really bring this into actions. And the first thing probably you will say, do I now have to switch from my current green grass system or ThinkWorks system? No, that's the beauty of ServiceNow. And now I have to switch on that presentation. We integrate with your already up and running and planned or to be implemented IoT system. So we don't want to replace an AWS IoT greengrass system. We don't want to replace Azure here. We want to take this data that is taken that is recorded by these systems, maybe putting some AI already by these systems. We want to have this meaningful information and put it into the ServiceNow IoT bridge. This really gives you as a company the ability to react across different IoT worlds. Not only limiting to IoT, we can also, as I already stated, we can also integrate with data lakes. We can integrate with manual systems. Take this information, route it to the right persons. And yes, we can also, this is missing here, we can connect directly to your sensors if you don't have them connected. But take this into mind, ServiceNow sits on top of your IoT systems, and where we come into the real big play is what happens behind them. Because at the end, if you have IoT, you will have an action, and that needs to be routed to take some action. And this can be customer service, product management for improving the whole systems. This can be field services. So your service teams that you if a machine is getting hot, is getting slower, whatever the IoT sensor is detecting, ServiceNow can take this reading and route it to the right person, to the right team with the right skills, and also prioritize the readings. Because with ServiceNow, you can build up, you can create your value streams and say, okay, this there I have a fallback, and with that sensor I don't have. So I direct my service team onto that. And that's what basically ServiceNow can help you in the IoT world to really get beyond pure data, pure sensors, and dashboards. And this is only one part where we can help you in the bigger manufacturing world. We are not only limiting to the OT and IoT infrastructure. We can help making your core operations by better workflows, more productivities. We can protect your workforce. Depends on environmental and workforce protection. We help big companies as well as, for example, the state of North Rhine-Westphalia with vaccination management and the workflows behind it. We can help better work with your suppliers and partner together to really enable real-time collaboration, and of course your customers. And this is really what we think, to build that kind of great experience for the stakeholders that can be customers, workers, management, is a single system of action, and this is what we can provide. And as we are already running quite late in the time, I want to leave you with this slide. This is just showing our platform is not replacing everything. It wants to be integrating. We want to workflow across the different very good siloed system and make one experience, one workflow for the new digital enterprise and the IoT. That's it from my current presentation. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Heimann. Thank you again for being so close in time. This is great to see. Indeed, there are three questions I may ask you. If we come back to one topic that you were mentioning at the beginning, talking about siloed teams. From your side, is there any major tip to overcome these siloed teams, silos in the modern world?
Yeah, different approach. There's not one golden bullet, but get them engaged, get them to a mission, and align them under one under one goal, and also make work really important for them. So if you, for example, if we see that old systems flood one team with actions and items that they are not responsible for, they will stop collaborating. But if you only route meaningful information to them, you get a higher engagement level here.
Okay, got it. And coming back to your platform, are you specialized on some industry sectors, or is your platform an overall idea for industry in common, in total?
We are not specialized on a certain industry. We work across all industries. It can be manufacturing, so process discrete. We, as I already mentioned, it can be official government. For example, as I said, North Rhine-Westphalia is doing the vaccination management with the platform. But we have specialist teams that look into the different areas, people that come from the manufacturing. For example, before joining here, I've been working 8 years with Deloitte on really manufacturing topics, and we have focus groups on that. So we are both. The whole platform is agnostic. It can be used for many things, and we also have a lot of partners building solutions on that. For example, health and safety, environmental. We have partners that knows all the regulations, all the regulatory requirements, and build solutions based on our platform.
Okay, understood. You were talking about a platform of action. Who is fulfilling these actions?
Good question. It can be. It depends. That's the best answer to say it like this. It can be. It can be a team or a person where we really root this work action to. That can be, for example, go to machine, drill 500, and replace a fuse because it's the IoT sensor detected it. But it can also be other systems. So we can report things to other systems, as well as we can dedicate the action to other systems, especially in the IoT context. Probably we have a SCADA system that can even change the process flow. So, for example, we can talk to other systems. So basically, ServiceNow doesn't matter who's receiving that action. That can be another IT or OT system, or be real persons sitting in an office, or being on the road, field service team receiving this on a mobile device.
Perfect. Well then, Mr. Heimann, thank you so much again for your presentation, for your insight in ServiceNow.
Thank you.
For our audience, if you're interested in getting in contact with him, again, please use our business dating section on our platform. And well then, Mr. Heimann, thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck for the rest of the week, and have a good show.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, then let's go over to our second speaker, the two second speakers today. They're coming from Software AG, Mr. Schuh, Mr. Betts. We are just logging you in and handing you over the microphone. Mr. Schuh, Mr. Betts, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Bernard. So, welcome. Unfortunate, I couldn't travel to Germany due to the corona pandemic. We are still locked down, but it's a great way to speak to you in this way. So welcome to my home. My name is Bart Schouw. I'm the Chief Evangelist of Software AG. And today for the 10 minutes, I'm your host on this guided tour. But before going into the topic of connected manufacturing, I want to step back a little bit and ask you, what do you think what would have happened to the internet if we would have had this pandemic 5 years ago, let's say 2016? Would you have been able to work from home like you're doing now, most likely? Would you have been able to use those collaboration tools like Slack and Teams? Would your kids be able to actually take schooling from home? Do you think that HMI would have been able to actually move this into a digital event and stream this guided tour to 200 people at the same time? The internet probably would have had a hard time to actually cope with it and might have broken. And if that would have happened, the world would have come to a standstill. Your business would have come to a standstill. And that it didn't happen is contributing to one fact. The world is getting truly connected to people, technology, and things. And that's the mission of Software AG. So Software AG actually enables companies to become truly connected. And that's why it's so interesting today to talk about connected manufacturing. So connected manufacturing we see as a part of a larger trend called Industry 4.0. By the way, Bernard, do you know that Industry 4.0 was actually coined 10 years ago at HMI? You know, something to be proud of, I think, because it really influenced the industry for a long time. So connected manufacturing and Industry 4.0. So Industry 4.0 is really a leap forward from the traditional automation and really going for connected and flexible systems. But what are the components that manufacturers need to leverage from Industry 4.0 to really benefit from it? Now, in order to answer this question, I have with me in Darmstadt my colleague, Christoph Strack, who also happens to be an expert on Industry 4.0, and he's standing next to a very interesting machine. So, hi, Christoph, are you there?
Hi, Bart. Welcome, everyone, here to our office here in Darmstadt.
Yeah. So, Christoph, you're standing next to a very interesting machine. Maybe you can explain a little bit on what people are seeing.
Before I start, please let me shut it down because it makes a lot of noise. So what you see here next to me is a most realistic chemical reactor that we use to demonstrate our capabilities. So it's a chemical reactor that you see in the industry producing batches or chemical substances in batches. And what makes it really special is that it's a connected asset. So it's very easy to get a real-time insight on the data, on the status of what is happening right now. But before I go into the analytics details and what you can do with the data and how you can control it, please let me introduce a little bit about the OT side, because we are talking here about OT and IT integration. So the OT side it's a chemical reactor. Here in the middle, you have the main vessel where the reaction takes place. You have a storage, and you have the blue elements, which are sensors measuring the level, either hypersonic or hydrostatic, different types. So these are all sensors. And very important, you have an actor, which is a valve, to control the flow of your ingredients to the reactor where the reaction takes place. And all of these elements are brought together down here in this control cabinet. And in the control cabinet, you have a PLC that controls when the pump starts to pump, when the ingredients are pumped to the vessel, when this mixer starts, or when the heating is started. So all of this is controlled in this control cabinet. So this forms the basis of a rather traditional approach. But now we are in Industry 4.0, so we want to have a connected asset. And that is where our integration starts. So down here, we as Software AG connect to the PLC using an industry standard, which is called OPCOA. So this is a standard which is used and adopted in the industry. And we have many more ways to connect to the OT side. So that's a very, very short summary of what you see here next to me.
Okay, so that's also a very clear summary, but can you explain it a little bit? So we have the OT side, we have all those sensors and devices that are coming together in that cabinet over there with the PLC sensors. There we have the bridge. So there is actually the connection then to an IoT platform. Is that correct? That's what makes that's bringing it. So what are the elements in such an IoT platform that then really makes this a connected machine?
Okay, that's very, very important. So the first part I mentioned, so an IoT platform, it's a set of software services for controlling, managing, and optimizing your devices or your assets. And an IoT platform starts at the very bottom with device connectivity. So you connect your device, either be it an industry protocol using one of our 100 certified gateways, or any other protocol. So you connect your devices. Once you connect your devices, you are ready to get to the next level, to do device management. And you want to do device management. Because you want to know the status of your valve, of the level in your vessel, or of any other sensor values. And this is very important in device management. So in device management, you can update, for example, information. You can get information on the firmware level, or you can start the diagnostic that you would like to do in device management. And then on the next step, once you are done with this, you are ready to stream the data online, and you can do very, very interesting visualizations, which is the first step. In many industries, this is not yet possible to get real-time data and visualize it.
Okay, so you connect your devices to all this kind of protocols, either modern OPC UAs or the more traditional ones like Modbus. You start to stream this data, you visualize it, you use it for analysis, and can you then also use it in other applications?
Yes, you can use it in other applications. So as I mentioned, you have a connection to the zour side, so to the OT side. We as well can connect to any enterprise application, SAP system, any other order system, a service management system, to start sending out a technician if something fails, if there's a failure. Or you can start a maintenance order if, for example, one of the sensors of the motor is about to break down. So that is very important to be able to integrate whatever we find at customer sites.
I think it's a little bit also what the previous presenter said from ServiceNow, is that those are the kind of systems that we would then integrate with. So, but doing all those things, what are the real values? What is this now bringing to the customers? Why should they do it?
Okay, so it's very important that you enter with the very basics, because then you are ready to connect to your devices, see all your data. The next level is that you want to get benefit from it. So you want to improve the equipment effectiveness, and that is very easy to do because you can stream the data of your reaction. And imagine a batch takes 1.5 hours. If you do it over the course of a year, you come up with 10,000 of different batches. Not all of these batches run under perfect conditions. So our industrial analytics solution, TrendMiner, helps you to find out those batches that run under optimal conditions. So it helps you to find out halfway through the batch time that this is not a good production. You can stop it because something went wrong, something was wrong with the ingredients, or any other condition was not in perfect. So you stop the batch, and this way you save time as well as material and costs. So this is a very simple explanation how to optimize equipment efficiency.
Yeah, so just one more question before we actually get to the end. So I have heard a lot about also the advantages of new business models like asset as a service, but how can you explain a little bit how it would work in such a situation?
Oh yes. So this is what I just explained to you is rather a traditional approach to do optimization on what customers or companies already did. Entering the next level in a digital transformation, it's very important that you change your business model. So, for example, this reactor, you don't sell it to customers. Rather, you build a new business model, which is called asset as a service, and you charge the customer only for the usage when this model is used. And as a basis, you need to have a stable data, and this can be done by a connected device through our IoT platform.
Yeah. Okay. So that's really clear to me. So it would mean that people not only would sell traditionally, but they could actually more or less give the machine away, and then they, based on the measurements, they can see when people are using it, and then they could charge accordingly. Very cool concept. So, Christoph, I think we are at the end of this. Bernard, are there any questions from the audience?
Yeah, thank you so much. Maybe indeed I can add some more question. Bart, you were talking at the beginning about connected world and the big reliability of internet connections these days. But what happens if even these days the connection fails? Does your system also work without internet connection?
Well, I think that's actually a question that we should ask Christoph, because he's standing next to that, and he has.
Okay.
I think he knows some answers on this.
Okay, so this is where we enter the space of we call it a continuum. So we can start in the cloud, but once in very important cases, a customer wants to work autonomously, or they don't want to give away their data, they can work independently in an edge version. So actually, behind this wall here, there's an industry server workstation where our component Cumulocity Edge is installed and does all the magics that I explained to you before. And this is really transparent because the small or the edge version of Cumulocity is using the same code base and the same principles as the cloud version. So you can start either in the cloud and transfer your logic, your dashboards, your analytics to the edge, or the other way around. And if you want to benefit from both, you can connect the edge to the cloud and enter really interesting use cases. For example, to do benchmarking, to find out how this chemical reactor compares to a chemical reactor somewhere in another location.
Yeah, and just to add on that, from a security perspective, that's really important, because companies, especially factories, if they go into production, they often close down the internet, so they can't be hacked or attacked. And it means that even such a connected system has to continue to run. So having this independence and autonomously, as they say, to be able to run all this stuff on the machine and only connect when necessary to the cloud and to offload maybe some of the results for research, and then upload the new models, new artificial intelligence models, or the new machine learning models up to the systems. That's actually what you try to achieve by having these devices, what they call the edge. Some call the fog, but we call it the edge, as well than the cloud.
Perfect. Okay. And maybe one question that is a bit connected with this one at first. If I now, as a customer, decide to install your system, which skills do I need? Is there any special that I have to prepare before I can work with you?
Yeah. So, Christoph, do you want to take that first?
Yes, I can take it. So that is the approach of Cumulocity and TrendMiner, the two analytics tools or IT platforms that I mentioned, that they both work as self-service tools. So you don't need to be specifically trained. It's like any other application, user application that you can use, user platform that you can use, and then you can get started right away. So, and for the analytics, we have different levels. We have very simple levels where you can start right away to define template-based analytics. Or, for example, if you want to define a cockpit, you can do it in a self-service fashion. You don't need to configure or do any code involvement. So you can do it in a self-service way by dragging and dropping.
Yeah, and to add to that, what we see that's really important is a lot of companies want very quick results from the IoT projects. So when they start something, they want to do it without too much coding, and it is hard to get the coders and developers. So being able to actually enable the business to do those things in a self-service fashion is really important, and have the first results of such projects in a very easy fashion in a few days to a few weeks. And with that, then with those results, then they can go to the board and ask for more money and scale the project and become more mature. And then you get all the advanced teams in and really scale it then to a very professional level. But that continuum where you can start small and very fast with developers, without developers out of the box, versus then the very, very big projects, that's an important aspect that you need to cover in any kind of a decision what you take when you go for an IoT platform.
Yeah, perfect. I see. Maybe one last question. Can you give the audience a quick idea what customers you're already working with?
Yeah, so we have some beautiful references in Germany, and I know that Christoph knows some of them very well. So I think, Christoph, if you want to talk maybe about Adamos or some of the other industrial companies we have.
Yes, so we have customers in different areas. So, for example, Telecom or T-Systems, they use our platform as for their Cloud of Things offering. So they host a complete environment and resell it to their customers to have, so they have the horizontal platform, and then they build additional use cases on it, for example, facility management or to track cars in the automotive space. This is a very important customer. The other customer is zour, which was one of our customers that we developed the edge or the analytics part in our component in Cumulosity. So they are able to do analytics controlling their paint robots very easily. So they couldn't do it on site in real time before, and using our streaming analytics component in the edge, they were able to do it very easily, and they enhance their product using our component. This is the second customer. And the third customer is Gartner Denver. They are producing compressors, everything that has to do with air generation. And this is a very good example to have a connected machine, a connected compressor that sits somewhere on a construction site or anywhere. And with our platform, Gartner Denver or their customers, they know what is happening to their machine, and they can start a new business model, charge very differently, and get another service, generate more revenue through services.
Yeah, nothing to add on that one.
Perfect. Well then, we're at the end. Christoph, Mark, Bart, I'm sorry, thank you so much for your insight, and wish you all the best for the next days of Hannover Messe.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end of today's session of guided tours. I want to thank you again for your attention. I thank you, dear exhibitors, for your presentations, and wish you some very interesting more 3 days of Hannover Messe, and all the best to you. Thank you so much for your attention, and goodbye.